with you. In this video, I'll be talking about herbal tea. Now let me take the dictionary meaning of herbal tea. Herbal tea is made up of herbs. An herb is any of the several kinds of plants which appear to die at the end of the growing season, but grow again the next year, especially one which is used to make medicine or to make food taste stronger. That's from Advanced Learner Dictionary. So, herbal is made of herbs, and there are series of herbal plants. Series of herbal plants with their uses. Or let me say the importance. So for easier identifications, I will advise a short seminar or training in naturopathy. Those are the people that are specialists in herbal plant identification, naming, and the properties of herbal plants. Now, why this video? I just observed that herbs should form part of our daily consistent meal. In fact, it should form part of our kitchen regular meal, because herbs are important as the normal food we eat every day. In order to guard our body system against virus and detoxify harmful materials. These harmful materials and virus can probably be stored up from the regular meals we have every day. So the more antiviral properties we have in our body, the better it will be for us. The more detoxified material we have in our body, the more it will be good for us. And herb also help to cure chronic diseases. In fact, that's another dimension to herbal plants and herbal properties, and even the importance of taking herbs. It can cure chronic diseases like fibroids, like cancer, like ulcer, like asthma, glaucoma or filariae in the eye, infertility, hepatitis, and so on. And it will not only cure all these diseases, it will uproot. Uproot means these diseases will not grow up again in the future. Not that you just treat it today and some other time it starts occurring again. No. Herbal plants has been observed to give a permanent cure to ailments. Now, what is the importance of this video? You may ask me. The importance of this video is to create awareness that there is dosage for herbs. Because let me reiterate that I'm not taking naturopathy training here. That is, I'm not training you on herbal plants, their properties and their importance. There are people that are well grounded in that aspect. That's why I recommended a short course or seminar with them. But but a lot of people do ask questions that they are afraid of taking herbs because it doesn't have measurement. That's the whole essence of this video. I would just like to show you the proper way to prepare the herb, and I will be practical about it. Now come along with me to see the way I process my own herbs. Now let me show you how I extract my herbal plants. That is the leaves, the bark, the roots where necessary. I extract herbal plants based on the kind of treatment that I want. You know, in Yoruba land, people are conversant with taking names. That is dongoyaro, especially when they have malaria. So, there are different herbal plants for different ailments. Now, let's get down how I do process my herbal plants. I extract the leaves, the bark, the root, and every part that are important in making my herbal powder. Then I get it sorted by trashing the affected parts. The affected parts, I mean, the parts that are maybe withered, that are dried, spoiled, or has been eaten with germs or bacteria. You know, that can be visible when there is a hole on the plants. I trash those parts. Then I rinse the fresh green parts thoroughly in clean water 2 or 3 times. I allow the water to drain off and I spread on ear-free nets. Ear-free nets in the sense that I make it ear-free. I don't make it close. Now, this is the way I extract my herbal plants. This is cashew leaves. So, in the process of rinsing, you can see I've dropped off all the bad leaves. The yellowish one is not healthy. It's not good enough for me. The decayed one, probably eaten by bacteria, even on the tree, it's not that good for me. You can see the withered part. I don't need it. So I have to get all these bad ones off in the process of cleaning the herbal plants. Now you can see the good ones that I really need. I've rinsed this one about 3 times because it was harvested during the dry season, so the leaves were a bit dirty. So you can see how dirty the water I used to rinse it. You can see how dirty the water looks like. So I have to rinse it over and over again. And you can see my plants. You can see the trees, the hard part. That's the branches of the leaf. You can see how fresh. You can see how neat my plants are. So this is the part that I need. So this is the part I'm draining it now, so that the water can drop off it a bit. So after this, I will spread it on the net on my table for probably the next 1 month to dry naturally. Then I rinse the fresh green parts thoroughly in clean water 2 or 3 times, depending on how dusty the leaves is, especially when it's harvested during the dry season. You know, it may have dust. If it's in the rainy season, it may be clean enough just to go for washing probably 1 or 2 times. Then I allow the water to drain off by putting it on the sieve. After that, I spread it on ear-free net. Ear-free net in the sense that I don't put it on ear-closed container, maybe like tray or bowl. No, I put it on something that has hole so that ear can easily perforate from up and down the net. This is very important because by the time we put it on airtight container, the part that is on the container will get spoiled and it will destroy the whole process of the drying. So we have to make it air free so that air can flow all over the hour. So I leave it this way for like 1 or more. Leave it for like 1 month or more, depending on the weather season. In the rainy season, it may take longer, more than during the heat period. You know, in the heat period, everywhere tends to be hot, so it doesn't take so long during the heat period. Then, when dried, it gives me a yellowish colored leaves, not brownish. When it's brownish, then it's not good for use. And you want to ask me that why can't I put it under the sunlight to dry? Putting it under the sunlight to dry will destroy the chlorophyll. And the chlorophyll is part of the properties we need from the herb. So if you put your herbal leaves under the sun, it will just turn brown. And that will not be good enough for you. Although the bark and the roots can be dried under direct sunlight because those parts are very thick. So those ones can go under the sunlight, but the leaf must be under the shade. And believe me, it will get dried. After the leaves are dried, then you take it to blend in a mill to a very fine, well blended powder. You know, these days we now have people at the mill that blends herbs now. You know, all these local mill, especially in Nigeria, we have the local mills where we blend our pepper, where we blend a lot of things. So you can take it to the mill to blend so that it can give you the powder. After this powder, then you store this powder in airtight container at a very good room temperatures for daily use. After milling, I put the herbs in containers that has cover, and I put labels on it because I make sure that I mill all the leaves separately in case I want to combine the leaves. So I put it separately and I label it in a covered bowl. In this state, it can be there for the next 6 months, and it can be there for the next 1 year, depending on my choice. After 1 year maximum, the one left unused will be trashed because it has expired already. So in this container with the red cover, I have combinations of herbs, and the combination of herbs will depend on the kind of what you want to treat. That's why I will advise that you go for a short training or seminar on herbal plant identification and what each plant represents and what it stands to cure. So in this bowl, I have combinations of herbs that I've mixed together. After mixing it together, thereafter I take 1 spoon of it to boil every day. So you can see the container. Then you can see the 75 cl bowl beside it. That's the equivalent of the water I put to boil. And you can see the other container for different herbs. This bowl is an equivalent of 75 cl bottle. This 75 cl bottle. So this particular bowl is an equivalent of that. So I pour my hot water, which I have already boiled. Pour it and fill it to the brim. Thereafter, I measure 1 teaspoon. I see 1 teaspoon of my herb and pour it inside the water. And stir it together if I like. Even if I don't stir it together, it will still dissolve in the water. Pour more water because I want the bowl to be filled up to measure up to the appropriate level of water that I want. Then I cover it up this way. I will leave it this way for the next 30 minutes. Now after 30 minutes, you open the tea and you sieve it in another separate container like this, just to get the water. The water is exactly what we need. You can see that the color has changed already. So that's good enough to take as an herbal tea. Sieve it out this way. Sieve it out this way. Then what do? You can see the shaft. I call the shaft the residue. You can see the shaft. So this shaft, you don't need this shaft. You just trash this shaft. Then you can see the tea is ready now. This same quantity which is equivalent of 75 cl bottled water, is what you divide into 3 parts and take it in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening. So you take this in a day. You don't need to reserve it till the second day. You take it in a day. So one advantage of the tea is that you can make it every day. And let me tell you this, especially in Yoruba land, people believe so much in cooking herbal plants. That is not advisable, because in the process of cooking, the chlorophyll will have been destroyed, and you need the chlorophyll as part of the herbal tea. So the best way to get your herbal tea is to make it this way. So let me also tell you that the alternative to going through all this process of sieving, covering for 30 minutes to get it sieved, is to put the herbal powder inside tea bags. If you put it inside tea bags like this, then it makes it easier. It's this tea bag that you will just put inside the water and cover up for a few minutes, just to extract the essential properties you need from the herb. So this you take 3 times in a day. So you can see now that every herbal plant have measurements. It's not that you just take herbal preparation anyhow. No. Just like we take the regular tablets, the same way herbal plants have measurements. So this is for a day. This you take 3 times in a day. Thank you. Let me briefly use this medium to talk to you further on herbal tea. And I would like to familiarize you with some herbal plants that actually work for specific ailments. By the grace of God, I'm privileged to know 1 or 2 of these herbal plants. When we talk about ailments or diseases like fibroids, when we talk about cancer, when we talk about infertility, and a whole lot of diseases outside them, I want to assure you that there are appropriate plants that can cure all these diseases permanently. Although I would not recommend that you do this all alone by yourself, I would rather recommend that you locate a naturopathy that can easily handle this for you. But what I'm saying in excess is that there are plants that can be grounded into powder to be taken as tea to take care of different diseases. If I tell you, we have all these plants so common around us. If you want to try it, you can try the asthma plant. I just want to intimate you about herbal plants in relation to taking care of different ailments. Do you know that asthma plant takes care of anything that has to do with respiration, and it also works for cancer? Do you know that fibroids melt easily with mahogany, along with fibroid plant and some other plants? Do you know that hypertension can be cured? I mean, it will be washed off your bloodstream with its plants. There is this popular plant that people call sabaruma. With the combination of some other plants, it will wash off hypertension and bad cholesterol, and a whole lot of other plants. So if it interests you, you can beckon on me. My WhatsApp number is 08164151753. I will outrightly direct you to the appropriate naturopathy whereby you can be cured. I mean, you can be cured. No matter the level of this ailment being chronic, you can be cured. I titled this short sharing, God Cares About Your Nutrition. Now listen, as we walk through some Bible passages, if you are a Christian. Every tree and its fruits are the best food, as God said it in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29. Although the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, 1 to 45, and Deuteronomy, chapter 14, 7 to 21, gave specification about the kind of animals we may eat. But I discovered that people like Daniel, in the book of Daniel chapter 1, verse 11 to 15, that ate vegetables and drank water are healthier than others. Even our Lord Jesus Christ chose butter and honey above other foods, as written in the book of Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14 to 15. And Psalm 104, verse 14 to 15 gave a balance. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 8 talks about wheat and barley. So, all the above put together showed that food played a vital role in fulfilling your and our destinies and purpose on earth. So, I suggest that God cares about your health, but it is in your hands. So I admonish you to eat right for you to stay healthy. I will title this short video, Detoxify Your Body System Regularly. Now let me start by saying that in case you don't have a farm or you are unable to identify organic foods in the present mixed foods market, I will simply implore you to make sure you detoxify your body system regularly. I will advise that you take more of turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and a whole lot of detoxifiers. You can take it as a recipe to be added to your food. You can also take lemon as in form of tea, that is lemon tea, to flush out debris from your bloodline and streams. Why am I saying all this? I just realized that we take so much of synthetic food, and this eat deep into our immune system. So it makes a whole lot of people body immune to be so weak. And when this happens, it makes the body system to be prone to chronic diseases and breaks people down. So where you don't have the option or you don't know how to get organic food that can make your body system to be strong, then do yourself good by taking detoxifier. Remember, all chronic diseases start in a moment and builds up over a period of time. The earlier you keep your body system safe, the better it will be for you. So my words and my advice is that you stay organic, and in case you cannot get organic food easily, then detoxify your body. It's all about keeping strong. It's all about boosting your immune. It's all about staying healthy. It's all about keeping sicknesses away from body system.